Hi, welcome back to the channel. Long time no see. It has been a hot minute since I've done a video, but today's is going to be a little bit different. Now you're going to have to bear with me. I'm in the process of resetting up my my office, so I'm on a very junky video for for the face cam. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But what are we doing today? Well, normally we do video tutorials, but this channel is IT and cybersecurity, so we're going to be looking at the IT side of things today. And part of IT is having to fix broken stuff. Users will come to you with a hardware fault, and you got two choices: fix it or replace it. If it's fixable, fix it. Saves the e-waste, and also saves a bit of money for the company that you're working for, or the customer in whichever case you're looking at. So today what we have is a power supply for a Surface Pro. Spoiler alert, I have already taken this apart. I've taken the lid off. It's a little bit, I don't know whether you can see that, I've kind of just demolished the side of that whilst taking that off. So when you are taking these things off, you need to be really careful. What I should have done is applied some heat to this so that it would have come off a little bit easier with the glue that that we used to put on there. But nevertheless, the user for this particular power supply has reported that it's faulty. I want a new one, it's faulty. So, new one has been issued. Let's have a look at what's wrong with this one. What does faulty mean? Users very rarely give you accurate information. So what I've done, I've took it off, I've seen what the problem is, what some of the problem is. However, is that the whole fault, or is there something else wrong with this? So what I've done, I've plugged it into a power supply. It is currently drawing 6.2 watts, and I've got it powering a Surface Pro 4. Not sure whether we can see this, but you can see that this is the charger that's plugged in, and the light does illuminate. And if we could look at the screen, I don't know whether that's going to focus, but the battery symbol is there for charging. So we know that the power supply is good and it actually works. So because we're dealing with 240 volts here, this side, and I'm doing it with metal tweezers, do not replicate what I'm doing. Let's be safe. I do have some better tweezers. No, I don't. I'll use the pointer. So we're dealing with 240 volts here. Okay. If I disconnect this from the power, or if I disconnect it from the tablet and then the power, there's a chance that there could still be charge left in this. So what I'm going to do is disconnect it from the power first as a safeguard. The reason being is any power that is in this device will then be drawn through the connector into the tablet. So it basically suck the adapter dry. So we don't need that now. That's plugged in. All of the power will be dissipated. So I've had a look at this. Shed a bit more light on the subject. There we go. I've had a look at this already, as I say, and what I've come across is, if we take some of this thermal goop out of the way, no idea what it's for, however it's in the way. What the actual issue was is the USB port is loose. So why is it loose? Well, when I was having a bit of a nosy round, this little fella dropped out, and this is a tiny little piece of bracket. It's a little bit of plastic that sits around this side of the USB. Let's go and have a quick zoom down onto this. So it literally sits in here. You might be able to see the marks where it was, that little L shape on the bottom there. It sits there and it holds this in place. A bit like that. Okay, so that's snapped off. So basically this has had some abuse whilst there's been a USB cable plugged into it. It's not good. Users are very rarely delicate with their devices. So what's the plan? Well, basically this is just for power. Okay, so you got positive and negative, even though for some reason Microsoft saw in their mind to have both power cables as red. But it's purely power delivery, so we don't have to worry about data lines, anything like that. It is simply plus and minus 5 volts. So there's not much to go wrong with this. I don't believe the port is faulty. I think it's just loose. Whenever they've tried to plug their USB cable in, it's not been married up to the hole in the chassis properly, so they've not been able to plug in, therefore it's faulty. So what can we do to fix it? It's quite simple really. We get a little bit of super glue. Super glue, he says, holding it the right way up. So we'll what we'll do is bung a little bit of super glue on and see if we can't get this to hold into place. So what I'm going to do is just get a nozzle on the super glue. I'm going to change the camera layout a little bit and then we can get cracking. So I shall be back in a second. Right, here we go. Right, I am not joking you. This is the hardest bottle in the world to squeeze. I don't know whether it's just a bit duff. However, we're gonna have a go. So what I'm doing is just putting this bit of plastic into the tweezers, ready for me to plonk down into here. Just make sure I've got it orientated right. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here. Oh, you can see that, but it has wet. A little bit of glue in there. Super duper. And then I'm going to plonk this down. And that's not going to stand up. Don't stay. Right. So the question is, how long does this take to go off? Quick drying. Right, let's come back when that's dried. So I think that's had enough time to dry. Got a bit of glue down there, so that should be holding that reasonably solid. And what I've also done is just put a little bit just around the bottom where this little circuit board is going to sit. So what I also noticed is on the lid you can see this little standoffs, little brackets here that hold it. This was a little bent. This one here, that was pushed back a little bit. I've tried to straighten it, started to crack. So what I've done is I've just put a little bit of glue around the bottom of that as well, just to shore that up. So let's put the USB port in really gently, because I don't want to break that piece off now, he says. I'm trying to get this in as fiddly. Why don't you want to go in there? Wow. There we go. That is in. So it is a little loose. Let's put that right butt up against it. Is that in there? Almost. Right. Pop the wires down somewhere decent so they're out of the way. And squeeze you down there as well. Right. So there is a little bit of glue down there. What I'm going to do is put a tiny little bit just round the edge of this. I don't want to do too much because what I don't want is the glue going into the port, because that's just going to knacker it all together, and this glue is horrible. So come on, glue. There we go, there's a little bit. Right, put a little bit down here. Well, I've never had a squeezy bottle I can't squeeze. I think that'll be enough to hold it. Right, so we put the cable back in. Luckily this thing's got little brackets to sit around the cables to hold them in place. This is going to be really difficult to get back on because somebody broke it when they took it off. There we go. Right, so that's not glued down. Is it going to come off? Not without some force. So, is this repaired? We're going to say yes. We'll have a quick test of it in a second. However, would I give it to a customer? Probably not. And the reason being is that, let's face it, it's super glued together. But will it run my surface? Yeah, it will. Because when I got this off eBay, faulty, and repaired it, it didn't come with a power supply. So, and I have just noticed something actually. Let's see if I can get this lid off. In fact, what we can do, because I've just noticed I forgot to put this stuff back in. Come on, Richie. I have no idea what it does, but it was in there, so it should go back. It was there for a reason. There we go, and it's back for a reason. So what I can do now is actually make sure this lid never comes off again. I'll put a little bit of glue. Come on. I can't squeeze this bottle. Oh, there we go. Wow, I've never seen a squeezy bottle like it. Really haven't. Why can't I squeeze this stuff out? So I'll stick a little bit of glue around the edges. Hold it nice and tight. Right, now we'll stick the lid back on. Cable's in place. Right. And once that's set, it's not coming off. So there's our USB port back in place. I'm reasonably happy with that. So we're going to gently put our USB device in. This is just a USB ammeter, but it'll show us that the USB port is actually working. So I'm going to plug this charger in now, and you can see it's powered up, and it is indeed giving us 5 volts. Well, you could if the cable wasn't in the way. There you go, 5 volts. Super duper. Does the charger for the Surface still work? It's better if the stand isn't there, and the light's still on, and this is charging. So once that glue is dried on the case, and I could give it a little bit of a clamp just to hold it down, and a little bit of glue in there just to tidy up this edge, because it is a bit rough now, but that is fixed. And just to prove a point, when I said when we're dealing with electronics that I was pulling the plug out whilst the charger end was still in the tablet so that it would draw power, I'm about to pull the plug out. There you go, plug is out. That is still live. This is why you've got to be really careful when you're dealing with anything that has 240 volts in it. That's now drawn all of the power out of the internal capacitors, so that is now safe for us to enter if we were going to enter it again. But that is fixed, so that is now a fully working Surface Pro charger, all fixed with a little bit of super glue. Marvellous. And I've now got a Surface Pro charger for my device. So how's about that? A really quick video on fixing something IT-ish. It's not the most exciting video, I know, but leave some comments in the bit below. Tell me what you think. Is this a worthwhile venture as I start to fix a few more things? Do you want to see that content? I will be doing some more tutorials shortly. Time is a bit of an issue for me currently. Things are just really manic at the moment in my home and work life more than anything. But yeah, I hope that was interesting, enjoyable, something like that. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you again in the next one. Thanks very much. See you again.